Daehyun stepped off the transport ship and looked around in wonder. The Galactic Council station was bigger than any city he had ever seen. Metal corridors stretched in every direction, filled with aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some walked on two legs like humans, while others floated or crawled or moved in ways he could not understand. Young Mai walked beside him, carrying a bag full of Earth's scientific data. She was nervous but tried not to show it. As Earth's best xenobiologist, she knew more about alien life than anyone else on their planet. But seeing real aliens was different from studying pictures. "Remember," Daehyun said quietly, "we are here to join the galactic community. Earth wants to be friends with everyone." A tall, thin alien with purple skin approached them. It spoke through a translator device that hung around its neck. "Ambassador Daehyun from Earth? I am Guide Nexal. Please follow me to the council chamber." They walked through long hallways lined with windows that showed the stars outside. Daehyun had dreamed of this moment since he was a child. Finally, Earth would take its place among the civilized worlds of the galaxy. The council chamber was huge and round, with seats arranged in circles going up toward the ceiling. Hundreds of aliens sat in those seats representing worlds from across the galaxy. At the center was a raised platform where speakers could address the council. Guide Nexal led them to a small section marked with Earth's symbol. "Please wait here," it said. "The council will call you when they are ready." Daehyun looked around at the other aliens. Most of them were talking quietly among themselves, but he noticed something strange. When they looked toward the Earth section, they seemed nervous. Some even moved their seats farther away. "Do you see that?" Young Mi whispered. "They are afraid of us." "That cannot be right," Daehyun replied. "We are new here. We have no weapons, no army, nothing to make them afraid." A deep voice echoed through the chamber. "The Council of Galactic Civilizations will now come to order. Today we address the matter of species 347b, commonly known as humans from the world called Earth." Daehyun stood up, ready to give his prepared speech about friendship and cooperation. But before he could speak, an ancient-looking reptilian alien stood up from one of the highest seats. "I am Veltar of the Scythic Empire," the creature said. Its voice was old and tired. "I have been a member of this council for over 300 years, and I say that this matter should not be discussed." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Many aliens nodded in agreement with Veltar. Young Mi grabbed Daehyun's arm. "What is happening?" she whispered. Another alien stood up. This one looked like a giant insect with multiple arms. "I am Korth of the Hive Confederation. I agree with Elder Veltar. The quarantine protocols must remain in place." "Quarantine?" Daehyun called out, his voice carrying across the chamber. "What quarantine?" "We were invited here." The chamber fell silent. Hundreds of alien eyes turned toward him. He could feel their fear, their worry, their confusion. Veltar's ancient eyes fixed on Daehyun. "You do not know," the old reptile said slowly. "Your species truly does not know." "Know what?" Daehyun demanded. "We came here in peace. We want to join the galactic community." "What do you mean by quarantine?" Another alien, this one covered in glowing crystals, spoke up. "Show them the classification files." A holographic display appeared in the center of the chamber. It showed a list of worlds and their threat levels. Daehyun scanned the list until he found Earth. Next to it was a red warning symbol and the words Level 9 Hazard Zone, Do Not Approach. Young Mi gasped. "Level 9? What does that mean?" Korth's insect-like mandibles clicked nervously. "Level 9 is the highest threat classification. It is reserved for worlds that pose extreme danger to galactic civilization. But that is impossible," Daehyun protested. "Earth is peaceful. We have wars sometimes, yes, but we are not a threat to anyone else. We cannot even travel between stars without help." The aliens looked at each other with expressions that Daehyun was learning to recognize as fear and confusion. Veltar stood up slowly, his old joints creaking. "Young human, your world has been under galactic quarantine for over 200 years. No ship is allowed to approach your system. No contact is permitted. Your species is considered too dangerous for interaction." "Dangerous?" Young Mi stood up beside Daehyun. "How can we be dangerous? We did not even know you existed until last year." "That," said Veltar, "is exactly the problem." The old reptile activated another holographic display. This one showed a long list of dates and mission names. "Over the past 2 centuries, 47 different civilizations have sent expeditions to your world. Some came in peace, seeking contact. Others came with conquest in mind. All had the same result. Dae-hyun studied the list. What result? They disappeared, Korth said quietly. Ships, crews, entire fleets. Gone without a trace. The Mokari sent their greatest invasion force to your system in the year you call 2187. Veltar continued. 10,000 ships armed with weapons that could destroy planets. They never returned. We found no wreckage, no distress signals, nothing. Young Mi's hand shook as she looked at the data. You think we destroyed them? We do not know what happened to them, Veltar replied. That is what makes your species so terrifying. Another alien spoke up from the crowd. The Zenthari sent a peaceful diplomatic mission 50 years ago. One ship with gifts and messages of friendship. The ship was found drifting empty near your moon. The crew was gone, but there were no signs of violence. The ship's computers had been completely erased, Korth added. Not damaged, not destroyed, erased, as if someone had carefully removed every piece of information. Dae-hyun felt dizzy. None of this made sense. Earth had no technology capable of fighting alien invaders. They barely had space travel at all. You are telling us that our world has been fighting off alien contact for 200 years? Young Mi asked. Not fighting, Veltar said carefully. Something far worse. Your world makes invaders and peaceful visitors alike simply vanish, and your species remains completely unaware that any of this has happened. The chamber was silent except for the hum of the station's engines. Dae-hyun looked around at the hundreds of alien faces, all watching him with fear and confusion. There must be some mistake, he said finally. We would know if we were under attack. We would know if we had that kind of power. Veltar's ancient eyes seemed to look right through him. Would you? Tell me, human. How much do you really know about your own world? Before Dae-hyun could answer, an alarm began to sound throughout the station. A voice spoke over the intercom in a language he did not understand. Korth's mandibles clicked rapidly. Emergency session called. All council members to secure chambers immediately. What is happening? Young Mi asked. Veltar gathered his robes around him as he prepared to leave. The monitoring station at the edge of your solar system has detected something. After 50 years of silence, there is activity again. The old reptile paused at the edge of the platform and looked back at Dae-hyun. I warned the council that bringing you here was a mistake. Your presence may have awakened whatever guards your world. As the aliens filed out of the chamber, Dae-hyun and Young Mi stood alone in the center of the massive room. The holographic displays still showed Earth's classification as a level 9 threat. What have we gotten ourselves into? Young Mi whispered. Dae-hyun stared at the data, trying to understand how his peaceful homeworld could be considered the most dangerous place in the galaxy. Somewhere out there beyond the stars, something was protecting Earth from alien contact, and that something was apparently so powerful and so mysterious that it terrified civilizations across the galaxy. The question that frightened him most was simple. If Earth had guardians that powerful, why did the people of Earth know nothing about them? 3 days had passed since the emergency session, and Dae-hyun had not been allowed to leave his quarters. Young Mi paced back and forth in their shared room, worry clear on her face. They are hiding something from us, she said for the 10th time that morning. The door chimed, and a new alien entered. This one looked like it was made of living crystal, with light flowing through its transparent body. Behind it walked a human in military uniform. I am Zekmor, keeper of the Galactic Archives, the crystal being said. This is Major Hyunwoo, your military representative. Dae-hyun had not known Earth had a military representative. Hyunwoo was a tall man with serious eyes and scars on his hands that suggested he had seen combat. Ambassador, Hyunwoo said with a bow, I was sent here 2 years ago to study galactic military capabilities. The Council has finally agreed to let me brief you on what I have learned. You have been here for 2 years? Young Mi asked. Why did we not know about this? Because what I discovered was classified at the highest levels, Hyunwoo replied. Until now, even I was not allowed to tell Earth's government the truth. Zekmor's crystal body pulsed with different colors. The Council has decided that you must see the incident files. Perhaps then you will understand why your world is feared. They followed Zekmor through corridors Dae-hyun had not seen before. The crystal being moved by flowing along the floor rather than walking, they descended deeper into the station until they reached a section marked with warning symbols in dozens of alien languages. The restricted archives, Zekmor explained. These files are classified above top secret. Only council members and their appointed researchers may access them. The archive chamber was vast, filled with glowing data storage units that stretched up into darkness. Zekmore led them to a central viewing area where holographic displays could show the stored information. Show them the Mokari incident first, Hyunwoo said, the air above them filled with images of massive alien warships. These were not small scout vessels, but enormous dreadnoughts bristling with weapons. The ships moved in perfect formation through space, heading toward a familiar yellow star. The Mokari Empire was the most powerful military force in this sector of the galaxy, Zekmore explained. Their invasion fleets had conquered 47 worlds. When they learned of Earth, they decided to claim it for resources and slave labor. Young-mi watched the images with growing horror. How many ships? 10,000 vessels, Hyunwoo answered, including 50 planet killers capable of destroying entire worlds. The hologram showed the fleet approaching Earth's solar system. The ships moved past Pluto, then Neptune, heading steadily inward toward Earth. What happened to them? Daehyun asked. Zekmore's crystal body dimmed slightly. Watch. The fleet reached Jupiter and stopped in formation. For several minutes, nothing happened. Then one by one, the ships began to disappear. Not destroyed in explosions, not warping away to escape. They simply vanished as if they had never existed. The entire fleet disappeared in less than 30 minutes, Hyunwoo said quietly. No distress signals, no weapons fire, no sign of battle. They were just gone. But the Mokari must have sent rescue ships, investigation teams, Young-mi protested. They did, Zekmore replied. 12 separate rescue missions over the next 50 years. All disappeared in the same area of space near Jupiter. Hyunwoo activated another display. Show them the Zenthari mission. New images appeared, showing a single, beautiful ship shaped like a crystal flower. It moved slowly through space, broadcasting messages of peace and friendship. The Zenthari are a peaceful species, Zekmore explained. They have never waged war, never conquered other worlds. They only wanted to make contact with Earth and share knowledge. The peaceful ship approached Earth's moon and stopped in lunar orbit. It broadcast friendship messages in hundreds of languages, including several Earth languages that it should not have known. For 3 days, the ship remained in orbit. Hyunwoo continued. Then it went silent. A patrol found it drifting empty a week later. Empty? Daehyun asked. The crew of 47 beings had vanished, Zekmore said. But there were no signs of violence, no damage to the ship. The crew's personal belongings were still in their quarters. Food was still warm in the dining area. Young-mi shuddered. Where did they go? The most disturbing part, Hyunwoo added, was the ship's computer system. Every file had been carefully erased. Not destroyed by weapons or viruses, but methodically deleted by someone who knew exactly how Zenthari technology worked. More displays activated around them, showing incident after incident. Scout ships that sent back panicked final messages before cutting off forever. Diplomatic vessels found drifting with their crews simply gone. Research expeditions that vanished the moment they crossed into Earth's solar system. 47 different species, Zekmore said. Over 200 years. Hundreds of ships and thousands of beings. All gone. Daehyun studied the pattern of disappearances on a star map. They all vanished in the same general area. Between Jupiter and Mars, Hyunwoo confirmed. Whatever is protecting Earth operates from somewhere in that region. But we have explored that area, Young-mi protested. We have sent probes, satellites, even manned missions to Mars. We have never found anything unusual. Zekmore's body pulsed with what might have been amusement. Have you? Are you certain? A new display showed Earth's space activities over the past century. Satellite launches, moon missions, Mars rovers, space stations, all routine and well documented. Now watch the same data from our perspective, Hyunwoo said. The display changed, showing the same activities but with additional information. Space around Earth was filled with structures that had not appeared in Earth's data. Massive installations orbited between the planets, connected by energy networks that spanned the solar system. What are those? Daehyun whispered. We do not know, Zekmore admitted. They do not appear on any of Earth's sensors. Your people pass right through them as if they do not exist. Young-mi pointed at one of the structures. That one is huge. It is larger than our moon. How could we not see it? Your scientists have looked directly at it hundreds of times, Hyunwoo said. Your space probes have passed within kilometers of these installations. But somehow your instruments never detect them. More data filled the air around them. Communication intercepts, energy readings, gravitational anomalies that Earth scientists had dismissed as instrument errors. There is something else, Zekmore said quietly. 3 of the lost expeditions managed to send brief transmissions before they disappeared. We almost missed them because they were transmitted on frequencies that should not have been possible. A new audio file began to play. The voice was clearly alien, speaking in a language full of clicks and whistles. But underneath the alien words, a translation appeared in text. Day 7 of Peaceful Contact Mission. We have made contact with the inhabitants of the 3rd planet. But something is wrong. These humans, they knew we were coming. They knew our names, our language, our homeworld. How is this possible? They claim to be a primitive species, but their leader speaks our language perfectly and knows details about our civilization that are classified at the highest levels. We are beginning to suspect that these humans are not what they appear to be. The mission commander has decided to. The transmission cut off into static. That was from the Velian diplomatic mission 60 years ago, Hyunwoo explained. The ship was found 3 days later, empty except for this message. Daehyun felt cold despite the warm air of the archive chamber. The humans in that message, they knew the aliens were coming. It gets worse, Zekmore said. Another file opened, showing the transcript of a different transmission. Final log of Captain Thekvar, Rigelian survey vessel. The humans have offered us a choice. We can return to our homeworld and report that Earth is unsuitable for contact, or we can stay and join their research program. They know things about the galaxy that they should not know. They have technology that should not exist. Captain Velimore has agreed to stay. He says the humans have shown him wonders beyond imagination. I do not trust them. I am recording this message in secret before I make my decision. If anyone finds this log, know that the humans of Earth are not what they seem. They are static again. The Rigelian ship returned home 3 months later, Hyunwoo said, but only half the crew was aboard. The others, including Captain Thekvar, had chosen to remain on Earth. The returning crew reported that Earth was unsuitable for contact due to hostile environment. Young Mi sat down heavily in one of the viewing chairs. You are saying that some aliens who went to Earth decided to stay there? Not just some, Zekmore corrected. Our analysis suggests that approximately 30% of all beings who disappeared near Earth actually chose to remain there voluntarily. But where are they? Daehyun demanded. We would know if thousands of aliens were living on Earth. Hyunwoo and Zekmore exchanged a look that suggested they knew something more. That, Hyunwoo said slowly, is what we need to find out. Because according to these files, not only are they living on Earth, but they are actively helping to maintain the deception that keeps your world isolated from the galaxy. The archive chamber fell silent, except for the hum of the data storage systems. Around them, holographic displays showed 2 centuries of evidence that Earth was not the primitive. The monitoring station hung in the darkness at the very edge of Earth's solar system, far beyond Pluto where few beings dared to venture. Dr. Jinwoo floated in the observation deck, studying the strange readings on his instruments. As the station's chief astrophysicist, he had spent 3 years watching Earth from this distant point, and what he had learned made him question everything he thought he knew about physics. Beside him, So-young worked at a massive communications array, trying to decode the fragments of alien transmissions they had collected. Her expertise in quantum communications had brought her to this secret assignment. But even she was puzzled by what they had discovered. Show me those gravitational readings again. Jinwoo said to the station's AI Nexus 9 was unlike any artificial intelligence the galaxy had known. It processed information in ways that seemed almost alive, and it had been studying Earth longer than any organic being in the galaxy. Displaying gravitational anomaly map, Nexus 9 replied in its eerily calm voice, the space around them filled with a 3-dimensional map of Earth's solar system. But this was not the empty space that Earth scientists believed existed between the planets. Instead, Jinwoo saw massive structures everywhere, connected by energy networks that stretched from Mercury to beyond Neptune. How many installations are there? So-young asked, looking up from her work. Current count, 473 major structures, Nexus 9 replied. However, the number appears to be increasing. New installations become detectable every few months. Jinwoo studied one of the largest structures, a massive ring that surrounded the entire orbit of Mars. This thing is bigger than most planets. How is it possible that Earth's space agencies cannot see it? The installations exist in a state that our science cannot fully explain, Nexus 9 said. They interact with gravitational fields and electromagnetic radiation, but they remain invisible to most detection methods. So Young activated another display. I have been analyzing the communication intercepts. The fragments we recovered from the missing expeditions tell a disturbing story. New information appeared in the air around them. Audio files, visual records, and data streams from dozens of alien missions that had approached Earth over the past 2 centuries. Play the Mokari final transmission, Jinwoo requested. A harsh alien voice filled the observation deck. Speaking in the clicking language of the Mokari military, subtitles appeared below the audio. Fleet Command, this is Admiral Kraktor. We have encountered unexpected resistance. The humans. They are not what our intelligence reported. They have technology that should not exist. Our ships are being disabled by weapons we cannot see or understand. But that is not the worst part. The worst part is that they are not fighting us. They are trying to communicate. Admiral Velmore has agreed to meet with their representatives. I do not trust this. I am ordering the fleet to withdraw immediately. If we do not report back within 1 standard day, assume we have been compromised and do not send rescue missions to this system. The humans of Earth are not primitive. They are. The transmission ended in static. The Mokari fleet of 10,000 ships vanished 12 hours after that message, So Young said quietly. Jinwoo felt a chill run down his spine.
They were not destroyed.
They were negotiating. It appears so, Nexus 9 confirmed. Analysis of all available transmissions suggests that approximately 30% of all alien expeditions to Earth ended in voluntary cooperation, rather than destruction or disappearance. So Young activated another file. This one is from the Zenthari peaceful mission 50 years ago. A gentle musical voice filled the air, speaking in the harmonious language of the Zenthari. Personal log of Navigator Velthara. Day 5 of the contact mission. The humans have invited our captain to visit their world. But something extraordinary has happened. They showed us their true cities, hidden beneath the surface of their planet. The technology there is beyond anything we have ever seen. They have offered to share knowledge with us, but only if we agree to help maintain their secret. Captain Zorani believes this is the discovery of a lifetime. I am not so certain. These humans, they know things about the galaxy that they should not know. They speak of threats that even our oldest civilizations have forgotten. I fear we may be in over our heads. The log continued for several more minutes, describing advanced human technology and knowledge that should not have existed. The Zenthari ship returned to their home world 3 months later, So Young explained, but half the crew had chosen to remain on Earth. The returning members reported that Earth was too dangerous for further contact. Jinwoo studied the data patterns on his screen. So the aliens who disappear near Earth are not being destroyed. They are being recruited. Evidence strongly supports this conclusion, Nexus 9 agreed. But recruited for what purpose? A new alarm sounded throughout the station. So Young quickly checked her instruments and gasped, I am detecting an incoming transmission. The signature matches nothing in our databases. From where? Jinwoo asked. From Earth, So Young replied. But the transmission method is impossible. It is arriving faster than light speed, without using any known form of faster-than-light communication. The main communications panel activated, and a human voice spoke in perfect galactic standard language. Monitoring Station Omega Terminus, this is Earth Control. Please respond. Jinwoo and So Young stared at each other in shock. Earth was supposed to be a primitive world with no knowledge of alien contact. Should we respond? So Young whispered. Before Jinwoo could answer, the voice continued. Dr. Jinwoo and Communications Specialist So Young, we know you are listening. We need to speak with you immediately. A situation has developed that requires your assistance. Jinwoo's hands shook as he activated the response system. This is Dr. Jinwoo. How do you know our names? How are you transmitting faster than light? We have been monitoring your station since its construction 3 years ago, the voice replied calmly. We know about the Galactic Monitoring Project. We know about the classified files. And we know that representatives from Earth are currently at the Galactic Council Station. So Young leaned toward the microphone. Who are you? What organization on Earth has this technology? That information is classified, the voice replied. But we need you to understand something important. The situation at the Council Station has become dangerous. By bringing humans into direct contact with the galactic community, The Council has triggered protocols that have been dormant for over a century. Jin Woo looked at his instruments and saw something that made his blood run cold. Energy readings throughout the solar system were spiking. The hidden installations around Earth were activating. What protocols? He demanded. Earth is not just protected from alien contact, the voice explained. Earth is protected from alien contact for a very specific reason. There are things on our world that must remain contained. The presence of humans at the Galactic Council has alerted these things to the existence of galactic civilization. So Young's communication equipment began detecting massive energy surges throughout the solar system. Jinwoo, look at this. Every installation is powering up simultaneously. The containment systems are activating, the voice from Earth continued, but they were never designed to handle this level of alert. We need your help to prevent a catastrophic failure. What kind of catastrophic failure? Jinwoo asked, though he was afraid to hear the answer. The kind that could destroy the entire galaxy, the voice replied. Dr. Jinwoo So-young, you need to return to the council station immediately. Find Ambassador Daehyun and bring him home. Every minute he remains in contact with galactic civilization increases the risk of total containment failure. Nexus 9 sensors detected something that made the AI's voice change to an urgent tone. Warning. Massive energy signature detected approaching from the inner system. Unknown vessel, configuration not in any database. On the main screen they saw a ship unlike anything in galactic records. It was sleek and dark, seeming to bend light around itself. It moved through space without any visible propulsion system. That is one of ours, the voice from Earth said. Captain Vorth will take you to the council station. You must convince the galactic representatives to end the diplomatic mission immediately. Captain Vorth? So Young asked. That name is familiar. Jinwoo checked the mission files. Captain Vorth was the commander of the Zinthari peaceful mission 50 years ago. The one who was supposed to have died when his ship was found empty. I did not die, a new voice said over the communication system. This one had the musical quality of Zinthari speech but spoke perfect human languages. I chose to stay on Earth when I learned the truth about what your world protects. The dark ship docked with their monitoring station. Jin Woo and So-young watched through the viewports as a figure in an advanced spacesuit moved toward their airlock. The suit was clearly of alien design, but modified with technology that seemed far beyond anything either species should have possessed. Do not be afraid, Captain Vorth's voice said. I am still Zenthari, but I serve a greater purpose now. Earth's guardians are not human and they are not alien. They are something far more important. The airlock opened and Captain. The return journey to Earth happened faster than any technology in the galaxy should have allowed. Captain Vorth's ship moved through space in ways that defied physics, arriving at Earth in mere hours rather than the weeks such a journey should have taken. Daehyun sat in the passenger compartment with young Mi, both of them still trying to process what they had learned. The Galactic Council had agreed to send them back to Earth after Jinwoo and So-young had delivered their urgent message about containment failure. Are you certain we can trust him? Young Mi whispered, looking toward the front of the ship where Captain Vorth piloted them through space. We do not have much choice, Daehyun replied. If what he says is true, staying at the council station could have destroyed the galaxy. The ship shuddered slightly as it entered Earth's atmosphere. Through the viewports they could see their home world below, looking exactly as it always had. Blue oceans, white clouds, familiar continents. Nothing to suggest it was anything other than a normal planet. Prepare for landing, Captain Vorth announced. We are approaching Seoul. But they did not land at any airport or spaceport that Daehyun recognized. Instead, the ship descended toward what appeared to be an empty field outside the city. As they approached the ground, however, the field shimmered and revealed itself to be a sophisticated illusion. Beneath it was a massive underground facility. Welcome to Earth Defense Command, Captain Vorth said as they landed in a hangar filled with ships of designs that belonged to no known Earth technology. Waiting for them on the landing platform was a group of people in military uniforms. At their head stood a man with the bearing of a commander, his uniform displaying no national flags or insignia that Daehyun recognized. Ambassador Daehyun, the man said with a bow. I am Commander Taemin. Welcome to the real Earth. They followed Taemin through corridors that looked more advanced than anything at the Galactic Council station. The walls were lined with displays showing star maps, energy readings, and monitoring data from across the galaxy. How long has this place existed? Hyung Mi asked, staring at the advanced technology around them. This particular facility has been operational for 200 years, Taemin replied. But Earth's defense network is much older than that. They entered a vast command center where dozens of people worked at stations monitoring activities throughout the solar system. The displays showed the same hidden installations that Jinwoo had detected from the monitoring station. You have been tracking alien activities for centuries, Daehyun said. Beginning to understand? Much longer than that, Taemin confirmed. Every alien expedition to Earth has been detected, monitored, and intercepted. We have studied 47 different alien species without their knowledge. A woman approached them, wearing a lab coat over her military uniform. Her name tag read, Dr. Hyejin, Xenotechnology Division. We have learned more about galactic civilization than the Galactic Council knows about itself, Dr. Hyejin said. Every ship that approaches Earth carries knowledge, technology, and information that we study and integrate into our systems. She led them to a laboratory section where they saw technology that clearly came from many different alien civilizations. Mokari weapon systems, Xanthari communication devices, and equipment from dozens of species they did not recognize. You reverse engineer their technology, Young Mi said. We improve it, Dr. Hyejin corrected. Most galactic civilizations are surprisingly limited in their thinking. They develop technology for specific purposes and never explore its full potential. Taemin activated a holographic display showing Earth's true defensive capabilities. The planet was surrounded by layers of protection that extended throughout the solar system. Weapon platforms, sensor networks, and energy barriers that could stop entire fleets. But why? Daehyun demanded. Why keep this secret from Earth's population? Why not reveal that we have this power? Before Taemin could answer, an elderly man entered the command center. His hair was white with age, but his eyes were sharp and alert. He walked with the aid of a cane but carried himself with the authority of someone used to command. Because, Dr. Kang said, the people of Earth are not ready for the truth. And more importantly, the truth would interfere with their primary mission. What mission? Young Mai asked. Dr. Kang smiled sadly. To be human. To be normal. To live their lives without the burden of knowing what they really are. He led them deeper into the facility, through security doors that required multiple biometric scans. Finally, they arrived at a chamber that took Daehyun's breath away. The room was enormous, its walls lined with containment units. Inside each unit was an alien being, but these were not prisoners. They were volunteers working at research stations and living in comfortable quarters. Meet the allies who have chosen to join Earth's mission, Dr. Kang said. A familiar figure approached them. It was Admiral Velmore, the Mokari military commander whose fleet had disappeared 2 centuries ago. But he looked exactly as he would have then, showing no signs of aging. Ambassador, Velmore said in accented but perfect Korean, I have been expecting you. You are supposed to be dead, Daehyun said weakly. I chose a different path, Velmore replied. When I learned what Earth truly protects, I realized that my conquest mission was meaningless. There are far greater threats in the galaxy than territorial disputes. Dr. Kang activated another display, this one showing the true structure of Earth. The planet they knew was only the surface layer. Beneath it was a massive artificial construct, far larger than the planet itself. Earth is not a planet, Dr. Kang explained. It is a prison, the largest and most sophisticated containment facility ever constructed. Young Mi sat down heavily in a nearby chair. A prison for what? For entities that once consumed entire galaxies, Dr. Kang replied. Beings of pure energy and malevolence that devoured everything they encountered. Billions of years ago, a civilization far more advanced than any current galactic species built this prison to contain them. The display showed the true size of the facility. It extended deep into space, with the Earth's surface being merely the outermost layer of a complex system designed to hold unimaginable prisoners. The original builders knew that such a prison would require guardians, Dr. Kang continued. Beings who could resist the corruption and influence of the prisoners. So they created humanity. Daehyun stared at the display. Created us. Humans are not a naturally evolved species, Dr. Kang explained. You were genetically and psychologically engineered to be the perfect prison guards. Your curiosity drives you to understand the prisoners without being corrupted by them. Your protective instincts make you defend the prison even at the cost of your own lives. Your adaptability allows you to counter any escape attempt. Admiral Velmore nodded gravely. When my fleet approached Earth, we were not defeated by human weapons. We were convinced by human logic. Your representatives showed us the truth about what lies beneath your world, and we realized that protecting Earth was more important than any conquest. But why keep this secret from humanity? Young Mi asked. Dr. Kang's expression grew sad. Because the most important aspect of human psychology is your ability to live normal lives despite carrying an enormous burden. If the general population knew they were prison guards for galaxy-devouring entities, it would change them in ways that might compromise their effectiveness. A new alarm sounded through the facility. Taemin quickly checked his displays and his face went pale. "What is it?" Daehyun asked. "The prisoners are responding to the increased galactic contact," Taemin said. "They are becoming more active. The containment systems are having to work harder to keep them suppressed." Dr. Kang moved to a master control panel. "How much harder?" "Power consumption is up 300% and rising," Taemin reported. "If this continues, we will have to activate the emergency protocols." "What emergency protocols?" Young Mi asked. Dr. Kang's hands hovered over controls that glowed with ominous red light. "The protocols that would cut all contact between Earth and the galactic community, permanently." Admiral Velmore stepped forward. "The prisoners feed on contact with the outside galaxy. Every alien who knows about Earth strengthens their ability to influence the outside world. If we cannot contain this increase in activity, we would have to destroy the galactic civilization to prevent something worse from escaping," Dr. Kang finished. Daehyun looked around the command center, at the humans and aliens working together to protect something greater than any of their individual species. "So what do we do?" he asked. Dr. Kang met his eyes with a gaze that carried the weight of billions of years of responsibility. "We give you a choice, Ambassador. You can return to the Galactic Council and tell them that Earth wishes to remain isolated. You can help us maintain the deception that keeps the galaxy safe, or, Daehyun prompted, or you can help us find a better solution. Because the current system is failing, the prisoners are growing stronger and eventually, even humanity's guardianship may not be enough to contain them." As alarms continued to sound throughout the facility, Daehyun realized that the fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy, rested on the decision he was about to make. The alarms had been sounding for 6 hours. Throughout the underground facility, emergency lights cast red shadows on the faces of humans and aliens working desperately to contain something that should never be released. Daehyun stood in the deepest part of the complex, far beneath the Earth's surface. Here the walls were not made of metal and concrete, but of materials that seemed to absorb light itself. Ancient symbols covered every surface, glowing with power that predated known civilization. "The containment field is at 98% capacity," Commander Wu Jin reported. Unlike the other humans Daehyun had met, Wu Jin seemed different somehow. His eyes held knowledge that appeared far older than his physical age. "How long before it fails completely?" Dr. Kang asked, studying displays that showed energy patterns throughout the massive facility. "At current rates of increase, perhaps 12 hours, Wu Jin replied. "The prisoners have never been this active since the original containment." Young Mi stood beside a massive viewing window that looked down into the deepest part of the prison. Below them, lights moved in patterns that hurt to watch directly. The prisoners were not physical beings, but entities of pure, malevolent energy, contained in chambers that existed in dimensions folded beyond normal space. "What happens if they escape?" she asked quietly. An artificial intelligence materialized beside her, taking the form of a young woman with ancient eyes. "I am Subin," it said. "I have been connected to this facility since its construction. If the prisoners escape, they will consume every living thing in the galaxy within a matter of years." Daehyun watched the displays showing the true scope of Earth's prison system. It was vast beyond imagination, extending through dimensions he had never known existed. The planet Earth was just the outermost layer of a containment system that held dozens of entities, each one capable of destroying entire star systems. "How did they imprison these things originally?" he asked. Dr. Kang activated a holographic record that showed beings of incredible advancement. They were humanoid but clearly not human, with technology that manipulated the basic forces of reality itself. "The predecessors," Dr. Kang explained, "they were the most advanced civilization the galaxy has ever known. When the Devourers began consuming entire sectors of space, The predecessors built this prison as a last resort. The hologram showed the construction process. An entire solar system had been converted into the prison, with Earth as its control center. The original inhabitants of Earth had been relocated to other worlds, and the planet had been transformed into something far more important than a simple world. But the predecessors knew they could not guard the prison themselves. Subin continued. Their advanced minds were vulnerable to the prisoners' influence. They needed guardians who could resist corruption while maintaining the containment systems. So they created humanity, Youngmi said. Not just created, Commander Wu Jin corrected. They built us from the ground up, engineering every aspect of human psychology and biology to serve as perfect prison guards. Dr. Kang showed them genetic analysis of human DNA. It was far more complex than natural evolution could produce, with built-in systems that seemed designed for specific purposes. Human curiosity allows you to study the prisoners without being corrupted by their influence, Dr. Kang explained. Human pack bonding creates unbreakable loyalty to the mission. Human adaptability lets you counter any escape attempt, and most importantly, human psychology allows you to live normal lives while carrying this enormous responsibility. Dae-hyun studied his own genetic profile on the display. We are all artificial. Every human on Earth carries the genetic modifications, Wu Jin confirmed. But most humans live normal lives, unaware of their true purpose. Only a few are activated to serve as conscious guardians. Activated? Youngmi asked. Subin gestured toward Wu Jin. Commander Wu Jin was activated 15 years ago. His enhanced genetics awakened, giving him extended lifespan, enhanced intelligence, and direct connection to the prison systems. Wu Jin nodded. I am still human, but I am also something more. As are all the conscious guardians who work in these facilities. A new alarm sounded, different from the others. Dr. Kang rushed to his control station and his face went pale. Containment breach in Sector 7, he announced. One of the entities is testing the barriers. On the displays, they could see energy patterns that moved with terrifying intelligence. The entity was not trying to escape, but learning, studying the containment systems to find weaknesses. It knows we are watching, Subin said. Increased galactic contact has made it aware that there is a wider galaxy to consume. Commander Wu Jin's hands moved over controls that seemed to respond to his thoughts rather than his touch. Reinforcing containment field. But this is only temporary. More displays activated around the command center, showing similar activity throughout the prison. All the entities were becoming more active, responding to the knowledge that potential prey existed beyond their prison. We cannot maintain this level of containment indefinitely, Dr. Kang said. The system was designed to contain sleeping prisoners, not active ones. Dae-hyun looked around at the humans and aliens working together in the command center. What about the aliens who have joined you? Can they help? Admiral Velmore approached them, his Mokari features showing concern. We provide knowledge and assistance, but only humans can directly interface with the containment systems. The predecessors built the prison specifically for human minds. Captain Vorth, the Xanthari who had brought them back to Earth, studied the energy readings with his large, dark eyes. The prisoners are communicating with each other. This has never happened before. Communicating? Youngmi asked. Subin's artificial form flickered with worry. They are coordinating. If they work together, they could potentially overcome the containment barriers. Dr. Kang made a decision that clearly cost him greatly. Activate the emergency protocols. Begin preparation for galactic isolation. What does that mean? Dae-hyun demanded. Commander Wu Jin explained while his hands continued to work on the containment controls. We have the capability to create a barrier around the entire solar system. Nothing would be able to enter or leave. The galactic civilizations would forget that Earth exists. But that would trap us here forever, Youngmi protested. It would save the galaxy, Dr. Kang replied firmly. That is our primary mission. As the emergency systems activated, Dae-hyun made a decision that surprised everyone in the command center. No, he said firmly. There has to be another way. Ambassador, Dr. Kang began. You do not understand the stakes. I understand perfectly, Dae-hyun interrupted. I understand that humanity has been carrying this burden alone for thousands of years. I understand that you have sacrificed everything to protect the galaxy. But I also understand that the galactic civilizations have a right to know what they are being protected from. Commander Wu Jin looked up from his controls. You want to tell them the truth? I want to give them a choice, Daehyun said. The same choice you gave Admiral Velmore and Captain Vorth. Let them decide if they want to help carry this burden. Dr. Kang shook his head. The risk is too great. If the knowledge spreads too widely, it could awaken all the prisoners simultaneously. And if we isolate ourselves, we carry this burden alone until we inevitably fail, Daehyun countered. At least with galactic cooperation, we have a chance of finding a better solution. Subin's form solidified as she processed vast amounts of data. Analysis suggests Ambassador Daehyun may be correct. Current containment failure rate projections show system collapse within 2 centuries if we continue without additional resources. Young Mai stepped forward. What if we create a new organization? Select representatives from each galactic civilization who can handle the knowledge. Build a galactic guardian network. Admiral Velmore's eyes brightened. The Mokari have resources that could strengthen the containment systems. So do the Zenthari, the Scythek, and dozens of other species. Captain Vorth nodded in agreement. Many civilizations have individuals who could serve as guardians. The psychological traits are not unique to humanity. Commander Wu Jin studied the containment readings, then looked at Dr. Kang. The prisoners are responding to our conversation. They fear the possibility of expanded guardianship. Dr. Kang watched the energy patterns on his displays. For the first time since the crisis began, the entities seem to be retreating, deeper into their confinement. They know that galactic cooperation could strengthen the prison beyond their ability to escape, he said slowly. Daehyun saw the possibility of hope in the old scientist's eyes. Then we have our answer. Dr. Kang made another difficult decision. Very well, but we do this carefully, one species at a time, with full psychological evaluation of each potential guardian. Over the following hours, they developed a plan. Select members of the Galactic Council would be brought to Earth and shown the truth. Those who could handle the knowledge would be invited to join the Guardian Network. Those who could not would have their memories adjusted to remove any dangerous information. It will take decades to build the network we need, Subin warned. But it gives us hope, Youngmi replied, something we have not had for a very long time. As the immediate crisis passed and the prisoners returned to their dormant state,